After a lot of work by volunteers, a new disc golf course opened for play this weekend north of Rhinelander. And fans of neither team were satisfied after the game between the Packers and the Vikings ended in a tie. The news starts now.
Your local news and weather from where you live. News Watch 12 Midday starts now.
Thanks for joining us for News Watch 12 Midday. I'm Angela Kim. We start out with years of planning finally coming to fruition over the weekend. The Newbold Outdoor Recreation Area now features a brand new 18-hole disc golf course. The Rookery Run Disc Golf Course had its grand opening over the weekend. Dozens of people came out to test it. A professional disc golf player helped design the course so that it will work for both competitive players and beginners.
We had room to work with. And then Newbold committee and the town got behind it, and they cleaned it up and made it so it's really something special.
Newbold Recreation Committee Chair Pete Cody says it was great to see everyone show up in support of the course. He says it's important for people in Newbold and Oneida County to take advantage of the new attraction.
Know that the town has made a commitment for them, that we did this for the people of the area. It's free of charge, and hopefully they'll appreciate it.
On opening day, people could also buy discs and shirts with the Rookery Run logo. And I don't know about you, but I had a great weekend of 80 degrees, Chad, but what's the rest of the week looking like?
Yeah, well, at least still in the... Angela?
All right, thanks, Chad. And Sunday's game between the Packers and the Vikings left fans of both teams disappointed. The back-and-forth game ended in a 29-29 tie. A penalty cost the Packers a chance to wrap up in the game during the regulation, while the Vikings missed a last-second field goal that would have given Minnesota the win. Green Bay coach Mike McCarthy said the Packers had a number of opportunities to come away with the win.
The tie is, as they say, it is what it is. We'll take the opportunity to learn from it. There's a lot of production on all three phases, some big plays, some critical plays, and I think the importance of the critical plays at the critical points in the game, are something that we'll learn from.
Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers played well even with an injured knee. He called the tie a disappointment.
It doesn't feel great. In that last play, that it's either an L or a tie. It's nice not to have a loss on the record right now, but disappointing. We found a lot of ways to give that one away.
The Packers will be on the road next weekend to play Washington. We now know the name of the man who drowned in Lakeview Dazier up near the UP border. According to the Vilas County Sheriff's Office, 70-year-old John Zybert of Phelps died. The Sheriff's Office responded to a report around 11 p.m. Friday that a man had not returned home from boating. Deputies found Zybert's boat floating unoccupied when they had arrived at the lake. A search began and Zybert's body was found in the water Saturday morning. He was not wearing a life jacket, and the cause of the drowning is under investigation. 4 people were injured after multiple motorcycles crashed near Tomahawk early Saturday morning. 2 motorcycles collided on County Road L north of County Road N in the town of Bradley. According to the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, as other bikes tried to avoid the crash, a 3rd motorcycle hit a pickup truck that had stopped at the scene. 4 motorcycle riders were injured, 2 of them critically. People packed into downtown Three Lakes to celebrate German culture and good beer. The 3rd annual Oktoberfest was held Saturday. The Black Forest Pub and Grill started the event after several customers had suggested the idea. People could come out and enjoy a variety of German beers and food.
We started small, just off on a parking lot one year, 2 years ago, and then last year we closed the street and it got bigger and better, and this year, as you can see, it's caught on.
Some vendors and Three Lake businesses set up booths along the street to take part in the event. Many people see Oktoberfest as a way to show off the Three Lakes.
To see more people come down here and enjoy not only the Black Forest, but all of downtown Three Lakes, it exposes people to a really gem of the Northwoods that a lot of people don't know about.
Organizers added more musical and dance performances for this year's festivities. They plan to keep growing the event every year. And a Manitowoc police officer shot and killed a man after a confrontation. The Manitowoc Police Department says the officer responded with firefighters to a fire alarm just before 5 in the morning yesterday. While investigating the complaint, the officer confronted a man armed with what authorities called a blunt instrument. Now, police say the officer fired his gun and the suspect died at the scene. His name was not released. The officer was placed on paid administrative leave. The Wisconsin Division of Criminal Investigation will look into the shooting. Wisconsin could be on the pace to lose the most dairy farms in a year since 2013. The State Department of Agriculture says 47 dairy farms were lost in August alone. The department's numbers show that there were less than 8,400 licensed dairy producers at the beginning of this month. That number is nearly 400 less than at the start of the year. The decline is one of the biggest in 4 years. And the woman who accuses a Supreme Court nominee of sexual assault goes public. She accuses Brett Kavanaugh of assaulting her decades ago when the two were in high school. Now lawmakers are in an urgent scramble to get all of the facts. NBC's Kristen Walker reports.
And now, Judge, the podium.
This morning, new scrutiny of President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Christine Blasey Ford, a 51-year-old California college professor, accusing Kavanaugh of sexual assault when they were both in high school. According to the Washington Post, Ford described Kavanaugh as stumbling drunk at a Maryland house party in the 1980s when she claims he pinned her to a bed and groped her while another teenage boy watched. Ford telling the Post, quote, "He was trying to attack me and remove my clothing. Then when she tried to scream, she said he put his hand over her mouth. I thought he might inadvertently kill me," Ford told the Post. Ford originally laid out the allegations in a confidential letter received by Senator Dianne Feinstein back in July. So why is Ford going public now? She says after being bombarded by reporters, she decided it was time.
She just felt like, as she put it, these are the ills I was trying to avoid, and they have come to pass anyway, so I'm going to do it.
The White House saying on Friday, Judge Kavanaugh categorically and unequivocally denied this allegation. This has not changed. Judge Kavanaugh and the White House both stand by that statement. On Capitol Hill, bipartisan calls to delay this week's committee vote on Kavanaugh. Republican Senator Jeff Flake, whose vote could break the nomination, now telling the Washington Post, "For me, we can't vote until we hear more." While Judiciary Chairman Republican Chuck Grassley is questioning the timing of the revelation, adding Judge Kavanaugh's background has been thoroughly vetted by the FBI on 6 different occasions. Maine's Republican Senator Susan Collins is a critical swing vote and was pressed overnight.
Do you believe the accuser?
I don't know enough to make a judgment at this point.
Florence is no longer a hurricane, but the storm system remains a big problem for the East Coast. Coming up on Newswatch 12 midday, thousands are without power and flooding is a major problem.
And temperatures will be very summer-like this afternoon, but more fall-like weather is in the forecast. Details on that coming up after the break.
For days, residents in North and South Carolina got warnings and evacuation orders ahead of Hurricane Florence. Heavy rain caused massive flooding, and the storm system has already claimed at least 18 lives. Omar Jimenez is in North Carolina, where the rain continues to soak an already saturated area.
This storm's like a house guest who doesn't want to leave.
That sentiment is one shared by thousands across the state as they continue to get hammered 3 days after Hurricane Florence made landfall. Now a tropical depression, the National Hurricane Center says southeast North Carolina could see up to 40 inches of rain.
I jumped up, shined a flashlight out here. The water was already up to that first step. By the time I could turn around and get back in the house, the water was already halfway. By the time I could run out here and get in the truck, it was that deep.
Many rivers have yet to crest, which officials warn will cause even more damage over the next couple of days once they do. More than 1 million people are under mandatory evacuation orders, and at least 1,000 swift water rescues have been carried out in North Carolina alone.
When she hit that water, she literally flew into the ditch, and that car disappeared into the woods.
600 roads in the state have flooded out or were made impassable by debris, prompting officials to ask motorists to avoid driving through the state altogether if possible.
Residents who may feel like venturing out themselves could be involved in a flash flood scenario. which could potentially place them in harm's way.
Thousands of people remain without power after the storm, and a family comes together to help one of their members going through some health problems. Coming up on Newswatch 12 Midday, we'll tell you how a big crowd came out for a pancake breakfast in Merrill. We'll have that story after the break, but first, let's take a look at what's happening around the area.
If you want to submit an area event to see on the air, you must go to our website, WJFW.com. The link is on the top right side of the page where you can click on Area Events. That's where you can view other events or submit one.
Star Mohican Casino Resort, where there's more action, fun, and...
The stress of dealing with cancer can sometimes break families apart. However, it's bringing one local family closer together. This weekend, people gathered from all over the state to join up in Merrill and raise some money. Gloria Kunkel and her family haven't had it easy.
This is not the first time. We've had quite a few cancer bouts in our family. Quite a few people have passed, and we still have we have 4 people right now in our family fighting cancers.
I keep crying on and off because it just like overwhelms me. It just shows that, you know, you never know when things like this are going to hit you.
Dan Adamick was re-diagnosed with stage 4 bladder cancer last spring. His sisters wanted a way to help with his medical bills by hosting a pancake fundraiser at the Eagles Club.
He's been there for us, me and my family, when we've had things. It's very hard.
The town of Merrill found out, and their response was stunning.
Can't believe it. There's got to be, I bet you 300 people. I don't know. I mean, they just keep on coming out the door.
I would say we're well over their capacity that they can hold.
The pancake breakfast included a bake sale, raffle, and a chance to spend a little more time with Dan.
Makes you feel good. It just does. It helps you. It helps you with the process.
And even though the fundraiser ended, the support continues to grow.
I mean, we get phone calls every day about people donating for the next benefit, and we haven't even gotten through this one.
And this isn't the only fundraiser for Dan. There will be a bowling event on November 10th at Les and Jim's Lincoln Lanes that Dan will compete in himself. And coming up on Newswatch 12 Midday, Chad is back with another check of your forecast. Plus, we'll tell you about an increasing concern about sexually transmitted diseases in the United States. Sexually transmitted disease diagnoses in the United States have been going up. That's according to an annual report from the Centers for Disease Control. Jennifer Veglas has a story.
A spike in sexually transmitted disease diagnoses annually since 2013. Christina Burke, physician's assistant at Can Community Health, says is concerning.
The fact that the numbers for gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis are rising, all of which are very treatable STIs, indicate that there will be a rise in other infections as well.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention reports nearly 2.3 million cases in 2017, nearly 200,000 more than 2016.
Among all demographics, so not only men who have sex with men, but heterosexual men and women, and including pregnant women as well.
Burke says many factors likely attributing.
We don't have the scare of HIV anymore. Since the year 2000, we've had truly life-saving drugs for HIV, so people aren't necessarily as afraid and feel the need to use condoms to prevent that transmission.
Another, finding a partner without knowing their story.
Increase in social media apps that make getting a partner very easy.
Gonorrhea diagnosis increasing by 67% and syphilis 76%.
If a woman is pregnant when she gets syphilis, her baby could be stillborn or born with congenital syphilis, which does have potential life-threatening complications.
Can Community Health Senior Prevention Specialist Serena Miller says education is essential.
How to prevent and where to get tested are some of the things that we educate about and that the community should know.
Urging to get tested regularly and seek treatment.
Welcome back. This afternoon on Up North at 4, we'll tell you how to have some fun while helping the community. The Harvest Hoedown is September 22nd and will benefit both the Rhinelander Area Food Pantry and the Northwoods Alliance for Temporary Housing. Find out how you can participate this afternoon on Up North at 4.
All right, great afternoon to get outside. Enjoy it now because some cooler weather is in the forecast, but I think a lot of us looking forward to some fall-like weather here across the Northwoods. Right now, lots of sunshine and warm in Eagle River, sunny skies, and Rhinelander. You will notice a few more clouds move in as we head through the afternoon and evening. A cold front off to our north and west has dropped temperatures back into the 60s and for Ashland and Hayward, but the rest of the region looking at upper 70s and lower 80s out ahead of that front, where we have plenty of sunshine. Notice more clouds across Minnesota and some showers and storms pushing into the western portions of the state. If that holds together, a few of us across the Northwoods and especially across central Wisconsin could see some rain later on today. Still a few spotty showers on Tuesday with a high near 65. Better rain chances arrive Wednesday and Thursday before we dry out by Friday afternoon. Right now, the upcoming weekend looking pretty nice. Temperatures in the lower 60s. So warm today, but cooler by tomorrow.
All right, so fall's coming, I guess. All right, well, have a great day and join us again this afternoon for Up North at 4.